Okay, so we're recording, and this is Katie Driscoll, otherwise known as the chef hat, but she's not wearing a chef hat tonight. But she will for you, don't worry. So I am interviewing Katie tonight. I'm gonna get your questions, and I thought this would be a fun way to share tips with you guys without taking up too much of your time. Just interviewing the coach, the leaders on the team. So, Katie, just tell us a little bit about how you found Beachbody, how you get into coaching, and what your plan is, what your goal is.
Okay. So first, I feel like I'm in the MTV Real World confessional right now. I'm telling you my deep thoughts and stories. Okay, so I have always had anxiety disease, but didn't really know it until I hit about 21 years old. They say it comes out between 18 and 25. And when I was 21, I was getting married. I bought a condo. There was just so much going on, and they say that huge life events bring it out. And I grew up with a mom who battled anxiety disease, and obviously back then they didn't really know what she had. They put her in the psych ward, like crazy stuff. So I remember I was in 4th grade, and my mom was gone in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I couldn't see her for 2 solid weeks. It was insane. But thankfully she went through all of that, which helped me, because when I was diagnosed with anxiety disease, it was quick. We went to the doctor, and what they do is they say, with mental disorders, what they do is they say, well, what worked for one will more than likely work for another. So since my mom was diagnosed and went on Paxil, they were like, we're going to try Paxil for you. So they put me on Paxil, and within probably a week and a half, I was feeling back to myself. And, that was awesome. But with anxiety disease, I lost a lot of weight. When I went through my panic attacks, they were like consecutive. I went from, this confident girl who worked in the city. I got on the train. I went to work every day, and I didn't even want to take the train home. Like, I remember I would just cry. And so I went on medicine that helped me, but in the same aspect, it didn't help me because it slowed down my metabolism. And I remember for the longest time, I would say, I gained all this weight and I can't lose it because of Paxil, which is totally a crutch. We learn all the time in our businesses, in life, everything is usually excuses. And it was an excuse, but it was more because growing up, now looking back, I know I was a walking anxiety attack. So I had fast metabolism. My heart was always racing. Like, imagine when you're driving in a car and someone pulls out in front of you and your heart starts racing and you panic, you feel that dry sweat. That's how I felt all the time. So obviously anything I ate was being burned off like crazy. I could eat whatever I wanted, until I went on Paxil. And then I was that girl who never learned how to eat right. So I never really worked out. I mean, I did sports and stuff in high school, but after that, I didn't really work out. I ate whatever I wanted. Fast food was the go-to, and a lot of carbs, rice, pasta, you name it. So I go on this medicine, and I can't eat like that anymore. And I gained I gained 40 pounds after we got married. So, and obviously a lot of that, I was like, oh, well, it's newlywed phase. Like, I called it the fat and happy time. Like, Kevin would be like, want to go get ice cream? I'm like, sure, you love me. Let's go get ice cream. So I gained about 40 pounds over the course of the first probably year or two of being married. And then after 3 years, we got pregnant with Kaylee. And my pregnancy was, I wasn't unhealthy, but I was already overweight. And eating for 2, which normally is just like an additional 500 calories for me, was like, oh, well, I need to eat for 2. I eat so much. It's crazy. And then after I had her, I was actually put on bed rest with her for high blood pressure. I had preeclampsia and toxemia, so I literally looked like I swallowed the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, I was so swollen. People look at the pictures of me, and I'm not kidding you when I say I looked like Shallow Hal. Like, I looked like the girl from Shallow Hal. You could tell it was me, but I looked like I was wearing a fat suit because I had so much water retention everywhere in my face. So I had Kaylee early, which was pretty scary. I mean, to be 4 weeks before she was due to be induced, and it took forever because she wasn't ready to come out. I had her, and they were like, guess what? You still have high blood pressure. That's scary. I was 23 years old, and they're like, you're going to need to go on medicine. I'm 23, I need to go on high blood pressure medicine. So I did go on it to help it, until all the weight came off of the initial water. I was also on a water pill. I was on the same medicine as my grandma. My grandma was like 75, so I mean, figure that. That's scary. So I did lose all of that weight, pregnancy weight that I gained, and I think I gained probably 70 pounds. When I gave birth to Kaylee, I was 5'3", and I was 218 pounds. But I lost the weight that I gained when I was pregnant with her, but I never lost that initial 30 to 40 that I put on when we first got married. So I remember I was working, and one of the guys that I worked with was like, oh yeah, I tried this P90X thing. I got the DVDs burned from my trainer, and I was like, oh, I want to try those. So I'm your classic coach who did a program with burned DVDs, and I remember I posted on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, day 2, plyometrics, I might die. And of course, Hal, who I went to high school with, sent me a message and was like, my wife's a Beachbody coach. You should totally hook up with her. She can help you get in a challenge group, keep you accountable, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, Hal, shut up. I don't need anybody to keep me accountable. I don't want anyone to tell me anything. And I'm like, but sure, she can friend me. So she friended me. And this girl, Lindsay, is sending me messages like, hey, I heard you're doing P90X, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I just do it like in addition to my running, because I did start running. I did a 10K and quit smoking, which, yes, I did that too. So, I did all this stuff, did a 10K, and I was really, really excited and happy. And I remember I posted that I did that 10K, and I said, a year ago I was a smoker, and now I just ran, 6.2 miles, whatever. And I got so many likes and comments on that post. It felt so good. And so I started doing the P90X, and Lindsay was messaging me, and, I'm like, I don't really want to buy anything, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, that's cool. I'll put you in my free accountability group. And it was called like Fitness for Life. And I remember watching her and seeing all of like her drinking her Shakeology. She would post this is my brownie batter. It's so good. And she posted a video of making candy out of Shakeology. And I have a chocolate problem, so I was like, I want to try this. And one day, and of course she was constantly posting like, it's payday, I love Thursdays, all this stuff. And she posted one day saying, I'm doing free samples. Like, I think it was like, if you like and comment on this post, whatever. So I wanted a free sample. She sent it to me. I'm a total dork. I mixed it up with a fork and still liked it. Like, I'm the person that everyone wants me as their customer, because I liked it in the corner. He was like, you're gross, that's disgusting. But I remember I messaged Lindsay and I was like, this stuff is so good. And she's like, it's amazing, right? I'm like, yes. So I started buying a bag from her at full price. And then once I started making it different ways, I'd throw peanut butter in there and banana, and I watched different things that Lindsay was doing with her shake. I would do that. And I made Kevin try it. He's like, this is really good. And he'll kill me for telling you this, but when Kevin hit 30, he was having issues going to the bathroom. He couldn't poop. And he was like, what's wrong with me? I think I'm dying. Like, literally, he was like, I think I have colon cancer. I'm like, don't have colon cancer. You're 30. And so he started drinking Shakeology, and he was like, this stuff's magic. It makes everything better. And so then I started buying that from Lindsay. I was literally her greatest customer. She would send me thank you cards like every other month. And she's like, why aren't you on the discount program? And I'm like, I told you, I don't want to do this. I don't need to be a coach, like blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know, it was like 18 months later, I remember I saw, it was when Shakeology price was going to go up. And I'm like, I need to get locked in, and I need to start making money on this stuff. She posted something about get locked in on your price, and that she would show people how to just get it paid for. You don't have to sell. You don't have to get into the business. You could just get it paid for. And I was like, okay, I'm buying two bags a month. I need to get this paid for. So I literally signed up. Literally, I'm a golden customer, golden coach. I literally signed up, sent her a message, was like, hi, I just signed up under you. And she's like, you did? And so she sends me like the welcome email, all this other stuff. And we started going back and forth, and she's telling me all this information. And she's like, I don't want to give you, I don't want to overwhelm you and give you too much information. I'm like, no, feed me, just keep telling me. She's just telling me about the bonus program and Diamond and Ruby and all these things and Star Diamond. And I'm like, oh my God. And so literally the Ruby in me just kind of came out. And I think I was Emerald within 2 or 3 weeks. And then I joined Lindsay's Cup team. So I signed up beginning of April, like March 30th, I signed up. I sold my first challenge pack like April 3rd. I remember I was so excited. And my first challenge pack sold ever was my coach, Debbie Harris. So, and she was like, no, I'm not coaching. No, I'm not doing this. Nothing. Clearly we see where that went. And so in July, I joined Lindsay's Cup team, and she was like, you're going to hit Diamond. You're going to get all these Success Club points. You need to just go, go, go. Can you do it faster than me and Ashton? Blah, blah, blah. Like, she knew exactly what motivated me. And so I was like, okay, I can do it. And then she's posted about how the top Success Club earner would be able to go to leadership with her in Laguna Beach. And I was like, yeah, I'm going. And so I think I got like 17 Success Club points. I hit Diamond in July, so I rank advanced and got extra points for the Cup and ended up going to Laguna. I went to Laguna in October-ish, maybe September, and I remember it was right when we came back that I needed to go back to work full-time. I had been doing some freelance stuff that went away, and I was like, crap, I gotta go back to work full-time, and clearly I lost my Diamond. And I don't know, I just kind of went into a funk. I retreated, completely retreated, and 21 Day Fix came out, and shortly after that, my father-in-law passed away. He committed suicide. And it was after that I watched my husband, I watched my kids, we all kind of dealt with this thing, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go all in, I'm going to get my Diamond back, and I'm going to kick ass at this. And, you know, it was, I see all these other people, and I'm like, all that time went by anyways, and you were sitting there wallowing in your own pity, and where did it get you? Nowhere. Same spot. Still here, still not Diamond, still wishing you didn't have to get up every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to go to work. So I said, you know what? You're going to put that extra hour in every day. Give away TV time, and that's where I am. I'm now 1-star Diamond qualifying. I've not lost my Diamond since I said I was going to go all in. It may be slower than some people, but guess what? I'm going at my pace, and I'm going to get there when I get there, and that time's going to pass anyways. So that's how I went from start to finish.
And slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Slow and I have questions. So the first question is, when do you work?
Okay, so I work full time, about 45 minutes away from. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So okay, good. I work about 45 minutes to an hour away from home. I work in HR. Funny, I work for McDonald's. I'm a Beachbody coach who works for a fast food company. But I do HR and corporate, and what I do is I wake up in the morning, get my kids ready, get everyone off to school. I go off to work. I listen to personal development. I listen to all my books on Audible. I don't buy books anymore unless I have to. Like, if they don't come on Audible and they're only CDs, I'll do that. Or if it's a book that I really need to read or someone recommends and it's only on book, I'll do it. But I have to use my time how I can. So I'm in the car for an hour one way, 2 hours daily, listening to my personal development, any YouTube videos that Lindsay tags me in and she's like, you need to watch this, etc. I listen to that stuff in the car. My daughter does cheerleading, so if I'm ever sitting at the gym, I'll listen to it then. I'll answer questions. I literally recorded a Zoom call with my team in the parking lot using the cheer gym's free Wi-Fi the other day. So I just have to do what I can with my time. So I do my personal development in my commute, if I'm grocery shopping, all that stuff. And then team calls are at night. I have to pick and choose my battles. I have to devote my time to my team as a leader. And then if there's someone that I really want to call, I want to be on it live, I'll jump on. Most of the time I do. If I can't, I listen to it on recording. And then I don't give my lunch break away to my company anymore. I used to. And I would work through my lunch. or I would go out, I would go run my errands, go to Target, whatever. And now I'm like, you know what, between me and Kevin, we'll figure out our errands. Or sometimes I'll run my errands while Kaylee's at cheer. I use my lunch hour to get my one minimum power hour in. I literally reserve a conference room and I go sit and I do my power hour. If I can't do a power hour, or maybe I have a coach call, they prefer, during the day, I'll do something during the day and I'll just go to my car, do Zoom from my phone. And then when I come home at night, it's kid time. So I'm doing dinner, lunches, homework, all that stuff. In the summer, it's a little more lenient. And then once they go to bed, I work from like 9 to 11 at night. That's finding new people, making videos, doing my team calls, all that stuff. Sometimes it's a little later than that, but I'll sacrifice my sleep.
So you maximize your time really well. So I bet you go to the bathroom with your phone, right? And you check.
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm checking messages at work. Yeah. Yep. My kids will be like, Mom, put your phone down. I'm like, I'm answering a Beachbody question. And KJ's like, okay. Because my middle guy is like, Mom, are we going to make enough money with Beachbody to stay home? Talk about a huge push and drive. Like, my kids being home with them is my initial why. Getting Kevin home because he works shift work, midnights, occasional weekends. He works 2 weekends out of the month. And normal everyday life revolves around weekends with your kids. They go to school Monday through Friday. Cheer competitions are on the weekend. Baseball, soccer, all that stuff's on the weekend. So he doesn't want to miss that stuff. So he's, my initial why is to get home with them, and then the second one is him, and then I want to retire my favorites.
And I heard a coach say once, she was working full time, the kids, and her sleep was sacrificed. Same thing. TV, she doesn't even know what was going on TV. She DVR'd whatever she wanted, and then maybe on the weekend she'd catch up a little bit on, and I kind of do the same thing. Even as a person who's at home, I will DVR, I really don't watch that much, but if something's on, I'll DVR it. And then tomorrow night, when things are kind of slower and the weekend kind of passes, you can certainly work on the weekends. There's still people out there who will be, available to talk to about their health and fitness. But you can also take that time to catch up on those shows instead of sitting on your Monday night and watching the shows or whatever. So, but what this girl had said, which was kind of cool, was she basically said, people think they don't have time to post and stuff, but you sit at your desk. So I'm sitting here at my desk, and she says, you take your phone out. She's like, create your posts when you have time. So what I do is I put them in my notepad, and then I create the photo, and then I just leave it. And when I wake up, tomorrow morning, I have a post to share because we paid off our new car. We paid it off. So I have a post to share about that, but because of other posts, it's not scheduled. It's scheduled to come, but it's not time yet. So I have to create the photo and then start to think about how I want to share the story of how we paid off the car and why it's important and how it connects to Beachbody, right? Because I have to connect those dots. So you take that time, tonight, I'll take the time to figure out my photo, and do I want the kids in it? Do I want me in it? What do I want to do? Do I want to write on it? What's going to get me the most traction, right? And anyways, my point of all of that is what she did was she would go to work, she would do her post in the morning, and then at some point she'd take a break, she'd stop and do another post. And she would do it live, and she would just take a quick break at work, do the post, and that would be it. She was still present. So just a little extra tip in there for this great interview. So the next question is, how do you find business builders, and how do you get them going, Success Club, all that stuff?
Okay, so I'll be honest, finding business builders is not something that I don't think there's this huge trick to it. I think in some cases there may be. I've definitely started doing my sponsored ads. I've done recruiting ads on my page, and I've gotten I've actually gotten 3 coaches from that. I think how you find business builders is posting how this business is changing your life and staying consistent, because I look at Debbie. Debbie is a business builder for me. Debbie was my first challenge pack sale, but Debbie did not sign up to coach for 6 months. Jennifer Pasick is my diamond, and she knows. Here's the funny thing about Jennifer Pasick, and here's a funny thing about all of you guys and me, and it's just proof in the pudding. Like, people will say, don't worry about, the top coaches. Don't think that, Lindsay is already a 10-star diamond, and she already has all these people. There's over 500 people on Team Smash, so there's going to be no one left, and the market is saturated with Beachbody coaches. That's crap, because there are so many people out there that I have still talked to that don't even know. They're like, what's Beachbody? And I'm like, seriously? We hear about it all the time because that's who we are, and that's the people that we're connected to on Facebook. So we're seeing more posts automatically because Facebook knows that's what we're into. So they're showing us those posts. That's first and foremost. But everyone is going to relate to someone different. I relate to Lindsay, and I knew Lindsay through Hale, and there's other coaches out there that I would have never signed up under. I would have never even bought into anything that they tried to tell me about their life because it didn't fit mine. I'm a mom of 3 kids. Lindsay's like me. The girl sometimes doesn't even shower, and she's like, I'm barely holding it together, and these kids are climbing all over me while I'm working out. That's me. If you saw what's going on in my bedroom right now, you would die. I have folded clothes on my bed sitting next to me. I have a laundry basket of stuff that needs to be folded. Like, none of this is good stuff, but guess what? We get through it, and my kids are wearing clean clothes. They're happy. They eat good food. They see me work out. They know I'm working this business for them. Like, I'm teaching them stuff. Pasick, to get back to my point, has worked out at the same gym forever. She started after her second kid, and her second kid is 13 now. So 13 years she's been working out at the same gym. And I just asked her the other day, I'm like, so many Beachbody coaches. She's been taking body pump, like the Les Mills classes that are taught at the gym, for so long, and she knows a ton of Beachbody coaches. Why didn't she ever sign up with any of them? She's only been a coach for a year. This August will be 1 year with me. And I'm like, why did you choose me? I don't get it. I asked her this at Summit, and she's like, you're the only person that ever asked. She's like, and yeah. She's like, and I get you. Like, we are the same. We're moms. We're crazy. We like to have fun, but we also like to work hard. So people are going to relate to you. So be you. And don't think about all those other teams out there that have a ton of coaches. Like, I would sign up with Bombshell and as awesome and empowered women as I think they are. I am not that. I am not some hot shoe blonde bombshell. I'm Melanie Mitchell. I'm a hot mess. Like, there's nothing normal about this. I think this is my normal. Like, I'm a weirdo. So that's a huge thing. But finding a business builder is just being you and staying consistent and telling people what Beachbody has done for you from the business aspect. So, like, for sure, talk about, fitness and challenge groups and stuff like that, but talk to people about what it's doing for you from a financial aspect. I constantly, and make it relatable. I don't care if you just paid gas for your car for a month. I don't care if you paid the night court bill, the water bill. That stuff is impactful. Even if it's $50, $50 could mean so much to somebody. You don't know until you say it. And I tell my girls this all the time, and it's not even a bad thing, but even with fitness and nutrition and the business, I think that everyone knows what I know. Just because I'm looking at Pinterest and I've Googled the crap out of nutrition and what healthy swaps I could make, I then automatically think people already know that, but they don't. Just keep sharing all of that stuff. Just keep sharing everything about you, because there is someone out there watching and listening that it'll matter to. I think about if I had that group and I didn't keep watching those videos, I wouldn't be sitting here right now having paid cash for Kaylee's competitive cheerleading. I don't even know if we could afford for her to be doing it. It's like $10,000 a year. That's crazy, and that's just one of my 3 kids. Yeah.
And laundry doesn't pay bills.
Don't stay. It's here. It's waiting for me to put it away.
It doesn't put money in the bank. I like how you said the posting about the, showing them the big picture of what it can do for them in terms of not just weight loss, right? Where it's got a financial solution, which is where you find people who want to work because they have to work towards it. And I like how you said consistently sharing about that versus, here and there. You got to breadcrumb your story, and I like that. And I also think you have a really special team, which is really cool. So people who can't relate to a bigger team, or the reason, the people out there who are watching this who are thinking, oh, everybody's got a coach at this point, I can't connect. Oh, but you can, because there's certain people that won't feel comfortable going to a team that's a different, person. Maybe they're not going to feel comfortable going to a certain male. They're not going to feel comfortable going to certain females. They're not going to necessarily feel comfortable working with me. So I think that's really cool that you shared that. So then I got asked how you balance it all, but I think you kind of answered that, where your personal development's in the car, or at any opportunity you have where you're watching the kids and you're just kind of hanging out there. You can plug in your earphones, drop on a podcast, or listen to a YouTube video on your phone. And I do the same thing, or if I, even maybe during your power hour, if you had, something to put in your ears during that time was always good too. The thing that's cool about it is whether you're actually hearing what they're saying, it's still subconsciously hitting your brain, which is what you need. You do need to hear things at times, but I can tell you there's times when I'm multitasking and working and listening and I'm like, what did they just say? But it's still subconsciously there. That's propelling me. I'm not afraid. I know people are going to tell me no. I'm not emotionally attached to it. I know someone may cancel on me. I know I may have to, when you're going through qualifications and you're trying to build a rank, we know that there's a strong chance that, it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy, right? If this was, everyone would do it. And then you do your work. You don't let it affect you, and you power hour at lunch, and then you do some power hour at night, as well as some teamwork. And you put in about 3 hours a day of actual business work, 2 to 3 hours, and then you do about 2 hours of personal development.
Mm-hmm. Personal development is huge for me, so I have to have extra of that. I'm not a 10 to 15 minute a day person. I'm an overthinker, so I need personal development all the time.
Yep, that's how I am.
Yep, we have to.
I have it all. I just got a new book called Punch Fear in the Face by John Acuff, Acuff. So I just started that. But I'm also doing the 21 irrefutable laws right now with the Beyond Diamond group. Okay, so last but not least, there's 3 questions in here, so I'm just going to spit them out. How do you start coaches without overwhelming them? How do you help the ones that get frustrated easy? And how do you give focus to coaches who lack direction?
Okay. So, and when you're asking me these questions, I realized that the last point, it was how to find business builders and how to get them started right. I didn't really answer that, but I'm going to answer it now.
Okay.
So, this has clearly been a lot of trial and error, and it's funny, and I think it's probably initially what the struggle, and it was a failure, and constantly in the fail forward world that we have to live in. I think that's what has created the culture with my team. I have this small and mighty team of people who are really close, and we all bail each other out. We all help each other. We're literally, I think we talk every single day, constantly. But we all learn together. I didn't know how to be a leader. I've never been a people manager in my career. I've always been the worker, the doer. So I had to learn a lot. I had to learn how to be a leader. I had to learn how to lead by example. I had to learn to get out of my own way. And I didn't have a perfect system. The first time I ever learned about Coach Basics was when I went to leadership. And did I come back and implement it? No, because I felt like, I only have 2 people on my team who are actually working the business. So how am I really going to lead them? And so I didn't do that. So that's failure number 1. I mean, if you have even just one person on your team, you want to train them, run with them. And so I tried to do a Coach Basics group. I tried to plug them into the Team Smash Coach Basics group. And here's the thing. Everyone is so different. So there may be someone who benefits from a large challenge group with a lot of people and a lot going on. There may be someone who likes the smaller challenge groups, and that's where they benefit. And I think the same thing goes with coaches. I have coaches on my team who are better with the one-on-one atmosphere of like 10 to 12 people in the group. And then I have others who are like, woo, we're sapphires. We love everybody in this group. What I've started doing is just making sure every single week I have a call with my team and we're answering questions. I'm not going to be able to do this forever where we can do a 45-minute call and we can all get our questions answered. I realize that. I listened to Janelle Summers' video. I don't remember what it was, but she said something about how she misses, while honestly she loves where she is now, but she misses those initial days of her small little team, and they had like one little message thread that would go back and forth. Right now, I keep my coaches plugged in weekly. We get on a call together. If they're missing calls, I'm checking in with them and like, hey, stay on this. You know, I remind them of what their why is, and that's huge, making sure you know their why in the beginning. I had trouble pulling my coaches' whys out because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what my true why was for like the first 6 months of my business. So it's constantly learning. Now, what my team has done since Summit is we have put together 4 so far new coach startup videos where we took everybody, like we have 3 new coaches on our team who were like this question askers. I don't know why I'm surrounded by freaking emeralds because I'm the most unorganized person in the world. But we have so many emeralds on our team. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm a ruby sapphire. I don't do details. I don't do any of this stuff. But they have lists of all their questions, and they put together. And I literally took these questions and I answered them, and I created a PowerPoint and I went through them in a webinar. And it's like a 4-part new coach startup, and it's all those initial questions that people ask, like how do I set up anything from how do I set up direct deposit to how do I post on social media? And I show them the difference between posting an ad with your link and sharing your story. And just as we go along, as there's something new that we think of, we create a video because videos are quick and concise and we can refer back to them. It's like Jen Pasick calls it. She's like, I go into work mode and I call it our asset library. So basically we have like this library of videos, and I'm happy to share them with any of you guys. They're completely new. So let me know. I mean, what one video works for one may not work for another, but that's what we're finding to work right now. How do I keep someone who has trouble focused? I constantly put their why in front of them, constantly. You know, Debbie Harris is someone who she wants to be home with her boys. So I'll show her a picture of her and her boys, and I'm like, remember this? Remember when you were like off for an entire week and you were taking Joey to his golf lessons? Like, that's the stuff that matters. You know, when my kids say to me, Mom, when are you going to be able to stay home with us? That's what hits me, you know, so I know what works for her. You have to know your coaches, and this business is so much about relationships, and that's why, because you have to know your challengers' why in order to keep them coming back when they're sore, when they don't want to eat another freaking salad to save their life. You have to put their why in front of them, and the same thing goes for your business. If you have people who are falling off the wagon, like tonight, I'm on vacation, I'm off work. Kevin, I talked to Kevin when I was on my way home from picking up Kaylee from cheer, and he's like, yeah, I'm having a beer. And I'm like, I want to go home and have a beer. But no, I had a team call. I had an interview with Lindsay. Why? Because I want to be home with my kids. I don't want to have to get up on a Monday. I don't want to get up on a Monday more than I want to have a beer tonight and just sit on the couch and do nothing. So that's what you have to constantly put in front of yourself. What do you want more in the long term than what you want right now? And that's what you have to keep in front of you.
Yeah, the only other one was the frustrated, but I think that kind of connects to the why as well.
When they're frustrated, I would just
you went out.
The why, but it's also being relatable. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah,
I can.
Now. Okay. When they're frustrated, I just relate to their frustration. I tell them, like, I was overwhelmed in the beginning. I tell them what 3 top things they need to focus on in the beginning. And that's the 3 vital behaviors. I tell them, make sure you're getting on calls, which is part of personal development. Listen to the National Wake Up Call on, if you have to listen to it later, I always listen to it later because I'm working at 10 a.m. And I tell them that they need to be inviting and adding people and being a product of the product. Frustrations, we all have them. My own freaking cousin quit, canceled her coach membership, never even told me. Like, we all have them. So, you know what? I make it relatable. And then I'm like, get back on the wagon. I lost my diamond, for Christ's sake. I fell out of 1-star qualifying. Like, we constantly fall on our faces. And you know what? I posted about it. I said, this sucks. I missed a huge goal, and it sucks. But that's
I know.
Yep.
I can relate. I lost 7-star. I was in the 6th week of qualifying. I was going to be a 7-star diamond, and because of 5 PV, I lost it. So I understand, and I still pressed on, and I figure, you know what, if I do this every single day, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of what just happened in my life, when I get to 6 months from now, my income's going to be bigger. If I keep bringing new coaches to join the team because they totally deserve this business, just like everybody, and they say yes to me and they're going to join, and I bring on more and they bring on more and I'm able to teach them, then it's going to be a win-win. So a couple of things that I think are great is you guys did a to-do list, and it'd be cool to hear your video. I like to take videos from different leaders on the team and put them on the website, because then people can just kind of look and see who's doing what and see what they connect to.
Yep.
And the other cool thing I think is that honestly, you literally have to look at coaching like baking a cake. This has been my new thing. You got to have the egg, and you got to have the flour, and you got to have the sugar, right? And you got to have the vanilla, and you got to have, I don't know, frosting. You got to have all these components, right? And if you miss one and you put it in the oven to bake, what happens? Your cake fails. So with coaching, I feel like we have a system the same way. The flour is perfecting your inviting. Like, it's not all going to come to you right away. But the more you pay attention to some of the really solid scripts that leader, ask, what scripts are you using that you're saying that, and you make it your own. And the more that you, work on those objections, like, okay, I know people are going to come at me with the price. I know people are going to talk to me about time. I know that they're going to come at me with, I use this product, right? And you start to arm yourself with the right way to respond. And I don't mean in a defensive way, but just study it, YouTube, whatever, Beachbody Coach Objections. And you master that, it all comes together, and your business, bakes into this fluffy, tasty cake. And it's like a system. That's my new thing. It's you kind of got to dumb it down. They really need to know, what did you say exactly? Okay, I can make myself comfortable with that. Okay, what do you check off every day? I only have to talk to 3 people starting out. I can do that. I can talk to 3 each day, right? So that's very cool. And you have a really awesome team that's now almost a star diamond team. We're qualifying together, so it's going to be a fun month.
Oh my God.
Are we ready? This is going to be fun. But that's it for the questions. So this was really fun. I appreciate you taking time to do this. We're going to share this. We're going to call this the green room interview.
I don't even know why I'm green. Whatever. I'm green, surrounded by laundry.
And the next time I interview you, you're going to be how many stars? 5 star?
5. Yep.
She's on the road to you were on the road to being a premier and/or elite coach this year too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That means stage time for you next year.
I know. I'll be wearing my chef hat across the stage, guaranteed.
Well, this has been fun. I'm going to end the recording here, and thank you for doing this.